afternoon, everyone. I'm Gautam, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the 883rd episode of Medley's. Before we start, I would like to introduce a few guidelines. There shall be no reference to sex, politics, or religion. And thirdly, I would. No, come on, it's okay. I don't think I'm motivated enough. It's okay. Continue. No, I won't skip. Continue, boss. Okay, but just request power to please long.
Anish? Yeah, you take care, Southern.
No problem. Good afternoon. This is meeting number 883. I welcome you all to meeting number 883. In the sound of the gavel, I declare open meeting number 883. This is Medley Toastmasters. We are a part of an organization called Toastmasters International. Guests. We have 3 guests today. We have 3 guests today, right? Ross? Vipa? Okay, hello. Hi. We have 3 guests today. Tarun, you're Tarun, right? Okay, Tarun, can you just introduce yourself? Tell us, feel free. Absolutely, this is a very crowd where you want to tell us what you do, anything. From there or here, it's all Garment or Tarun?
My name is Tarun. I live in Trivandrum in an apartment. I've done my BCom Marketing Management at Guru Nanak College. I've 2 weeks got my transit exam. And other than that, I'm planning for my master's in operations on marketing.
Welcome to the show. To Tarun and the people who are already here know, Medley Toastmasters, we are here for this number of meetings, and the idea of this particular fraternity Toastmasters is that we work with individuals towards their leadership and communication. So ideally, idea of this particular thing is, okay, you're here, we will handhold you, we will work with you, and then make you a better speaker, and a better leader, and a better communicator, right? We all believe leadership and communication are go hand in hand, right? Right. Make yourself comfortable whenever you can, right? We will get into the meeting and other due process a little later. I don't want to have anything else now. Let me hand over the stage to the Toastmaster of the day.
Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Always in my weakness, I got caught at lunch by family members who were upset that I left the lunch because of one of my cousins had come down from Delhi. And I got told out severely for leaving the lunch early. Anyway, of course, my brother decided to tell me to come here. I said no, I have to come, otherwise I get moved on again next week. So that's it. Welcome all. Has everyone hear me in the back? Yes. Yes. So let me start off by saying it's great to be here. That's one point of it today. That's it. Let me introduce you to what our theme is today. Our theme is today about storytelling, specifically. Alright?
I think projector need to be arranged.
Sorry. Sorry.
I can help you.
These were all set. Okay. So let me start again. Hello, Toastmaster. Yes, welcome to the meeting. So, I want to kind of discuss today's meeting to begin start things off. So the theme of the day is really about storytelling. So, for all of you today, what is something you always remember growing up? What story that actually spoke to you? There must have been a book you read, a show you watched as you were growing up. Anyone want to tell me something? What's a memorable character you remember when you were growing up, or a book you read? Anyone? Sorry? Great. Tintin. Classic. Anyone else? Any story you remember growing up? Any particular? Canada. Okay. That is
Supandi sir.
very good class. So I think what my point is, we all remember these stories for a reason, correct? We remember it because it stayed with us from when we were a kid to whatever current age you are. The reason for that is because stories speak to the human condition. We enjoy storytelling. Now, it's one of humanity's oldest traditions. It's been torn from the tales of the Egyptians, writing hieroglyphics on the wall, to people around campfires telling stories, ghost stories. I'm sure some of you might have been in scouts and guides, right? And maybe you guys know ghost stories. For me, that is the reason why stories continue to shape us as we grow up. And then as we get older, we're exposed to more different types of storytelling that we probably didn't realize we were. Man, I started off my life, my earliest memory of, I would say, was Tom and Jerry, which I know for a fact there are a lot of fans in the audience today of Tom and Jerry. Such as, frankly, a very violent cartoon, which I don't know how we got away with. And frankly, there were things in it that I think today I will never show my nephew or niece. But imagine that was dated in the 1940s. And they're still making those cartoons today. Because they're surviving and people still remember those characters for whatever reason, whatever spoke to them. But as you get older, as you mature in age, you tend to have a different point of view, something rubs off on you as you get older. Now, for me, as I got older, and probably I think around 13 or 14, I watched a movie that probably changed my life in better. The Shawshank Redemption. To me, it is still the greatest film ever made. Some will probably say, how is that possible? I would say, go to IMDb, it is still one of the top 3 rated movies of all time. Based on a Stephen King short story called Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption, which I again read in college, but I didn't realize was this amazing short story, maybe about 40 pages. Turned into this 2-hour feature film that today people love that movie. Why? It's really a story about friendship in a prison. two men from different backgrounds. The line in the movie goes that when you're here, you're just a number. Doesn't matter who you are. You might have been started off rich, you might have started off poor, you might be black, white, whatever. You are a number to the people who are running the prison. And there's a line in the movie that I still remember. Get busy living or get busy dying. Meaning, either get on with the life, progress further, and move on. If you don't, you'll just wither and die, wither away. That is one of the most beautiful things about that film. And it is a story of hope, tragedy, a little bit of comedy in there. But really, it's just an eye-opening film for anyone. I challenge anyone to tell me that movie is not perfect. I challenge anybody. It is irrespective of what language it is in, that movie is almost perfect. And if you haven't watched it, go watch it on Netflix or wherever it's streaming right now. Coming from that also, probably my other big enjoyment of life is, well, I still read it, but you know, I wouldn't admit that. I still read comic books to some extent, graphic novels. And again, one of my favorite characters to this day is Batman. Why? Do anyone know when Batman was created? Okay. 1940. And it was written by a writer named Bob Kane. And Bob Kane said, how did you come up with this character? And he said, me and him and a few other guys who were writers, there were 4 kids from the Bronx, which is one of the poorer parts of New York City. And he said, we didn't want to read stories about us. We wanted to imagine things that were greater than ourselves. And Bob Kane, till the day he died, decided that he wanted to become Bruce Wayne, where he actually dressed up as the character and went out where people thought he was actually rich, but he wasn't. But he just said, that's who I want to be. That character has changed and evolved over time because different writers have taken a chance on it. Why do we love that character to this day? I'm sure somebody here probably has seen a Batman film somewhere along the line. If you haven't, over. But the reason why we love, or at least why I love Batman, is because he's in a war that he will never win. A war against crime. That is an amazing fact about him. That's what makes him the most human. Despite all, and I love superheroes as a whole, and I know there are lots of Iron Man fans here today, right? Yes, thank you. So Iron Man fan. But Tony Stark is not useless. Reason being because Batman uses his intelligence. Yeah, he has gadgets as well. So does Tony Stark has amazing intelligence as well. But the reason why people gravitate to that character is because he's just in this unwinnable fight. No matter what, he may not win at the end of the day, but he will always find a way to get out of predicaments. And that's why people still like that character. And that's probably what stories are about. It's about living through characters that you probably wouldn't find yourself in those predicaments. Yeah, the idea that stories inspire us for simple reasons. It's probably why stories resonate so deeply with us. Because the best stories about superheroes, prisons, kingdoms, or fantasy worlds, they're really about the human spirit, about the state of humanity, about human emotion. That is the stories that we remember going forward in life. And they make us laugh, they make us cry. And really speaking, when I look at it, when I think about history or anyone's personal history in life, sometimes good, sometimes bad, sometimes not so good. I always find that history is a burden, but stories make us fly. And really that's really what all storytelling is about. It's about uplifting you and moving you to a way you not moving you forward. So with that said, I want to come get through to the next part of the day. So as Toastmaster Day, it's my responsibility to introduce today's speakers. After the speeches are concluded, I will ask for the timer's report, request ballots, be passed to the vote counter, introduce the general evaluator, ask the outcome of the report, ask if they're negative for the report, and for the return control the press control the meeting to the press before we okay. So I'd like to progress. Continue. So I'd like to follow up first I'd like to follow up on the gender evaluation. Mr. Toastmaster Kalyan. He is a past president of Medley and a business consultant by profession. When I asked him who was his favorite, which fictional character that he relates to the most, he chose James Bond because of the gadgets and cars associated with the character. Toastmaster.
Hello again. I'll just tell you the structure of the Toastmaster meeting. Structure of the Toastmaster meeting will go something like a prepared speeches. Then we'll be having an education session. The education session is not mandatory every time. Sometimes you'll have an education session, sometimes we will not have. But the usual structure will be there will be a prepared speeches and then there will be table topics. People who are new will understand what table topic is. People who have been here, they know what is table. Then we'll be having an evaluation. So the meeting will be run by the Toastmaster of the day, which is Karan, and I will be the next role player for this particular meeting. I'm called as a general evaluator. My work is to act as a watchdog. That's the role of a general evaluator. I will be assisted by two teams. One is I always call. I have two teams with me. One is an objective team and there's a subjective team. So let me introduce my first team. Toastmaster is full of acronyms, right? TMOD, G, TT, TAG, and all those stuff. One of this particular acronym is TAG. We call it as timer, R counter, and grammarian. So these people are all in my team, the general evaluators team. Their work is to look at this particular speeches very objectively. Hey, look what you are today. As a timer, this is what my work is. Can we hear it from the timer itself? Before getting on to the timer, I really appreciate the work of a TMOD. The TMOD gave me a beautiful printout about, he spoke to the timers and got an introduction about the timers. A big round of applause to the Toastmaster. He sent me a PDF. I thought great work. And then on getting him, he handed over a printout of work. This is so beautiful. So as a child, to appreciate his work, let me straight away read Toastmaster of the day's work. Timer Ranjit. Look at the detailing which he had done. So timer Ranjit, timer today is someone who landed in software industry accidentally and has miraculously completed 25 years ago. Professionally, he coaches agile teams and passionately, he coaches people on life, career and leadership. Fictional characters. The theme being fictional characters. TMOD would have asked what is a fictional character you like and Ranjit would have given an answer. Fictional character. When asked which fictional character he relates to the most, he chose Jerry and Tom and Jerry, because the way Jerry handles every situation is with happiness and agility. Over to the timer of the day. Timer Ranjit, can you tell us what you're going to do today? Either way. I think want of time, you're already running short. I would say we'll just stick to,
Greetings, Toastmasters and dear guests. As a timer, I'm one of the third of here. So I'll just type the speeches, table topics, and evaluation. For table topics, it's 1 minute. At the end of 1 minute, I'll raise this green. 1.5, 1 minute, 30 minutes, yellow. And at the end of 2 minutes, red. So any table topic speech which is less than 1 minute or over 2 minutes will not be qualified for the table topics of the day. Same with the icebreaker speeches, 4 to 6 minutes. We don't have an icebreaker today. So I'm moving to the next one. This is the prepared speech, 5 to 7 minutes slide. At the end of 5 minutes, green. At 6 minutes, yellow. And at 7 minutes, red. And as again, anything less than 5 minutes and anything over 5 to 7 minutes will not be qualified. And we have another prepared speech which is 10 to 15 minutes. So at the end of 10 minutes, green. 12.5, 12 minutes, 30 seconds, yellow, and end of 15 minutes, red.
The timer has got a time change, which will inform before the speech.
No. I thought that we put out.
We will work on it. You continue. When your speech comes in, we will work on it. Once it, it's done.
Okay, thank you.
Right, thank you, timer. There is going to be a time change, and then there is going to be a agenda change with reference to the first speaker. Yes, Professor, what is that? This is not there. Sorry. Okay. The speech requirement PowerPoint presentation is mandatory, is it? Probably what we can do, as a general learner, I have the thing to take, we can just understand, I leave that to your decision. If you want to run the speech today, you can just run the speech today, or if you, without a PowerPoint presentation. And the evaluator can understand the speech objectives. If it is mandated and without that the speech cannot be qualified as a qualified speech, then you may have to redo it. Or if I would request the evaluator or you to check the project evaluation and check what is the objectives. Okay. So Rohit, yeah, I check the objective of the Toastmaster Venkat's project. If without a project, I personally feel I am a very big person who is against having a projector. That is a crutch to me basically. Check on that. If the project says it has to be mandatory, it has to be. What is your part? Presentation mastery. Check on that alone. I would request you to go through all the evaluation resources, check whether it is mandatory. You can continue with your speech. If it is mandatory, let the evaluator give him this feedback, then we can revisit. You can speak to your mentor against revisit whether you want to redo the speech or you can just go ahead. We can take on that. Right. Now, the next person in my team, as I told, right, TAG, timer, R counter, and grammarian. The R counter is today is Nandini. Nandini is going to leave her profession and enter a profession. Why? Because there are only 2-3 professions. See, we all work, we're all employees. Very few things is what in India we call it as professions, right? Professional, one is architect, chartered accountant, and then doctors. So the other people are they not professionals? I do not know, but that is how the common public speaks. Nandini is a profession because she is a chartered accountant, and then she is going to get into a profession because she is going to be on her own. That is what she said. The best thing about the fictional character which Nandini likes is, how many of you saw Mayadagan? There was a film called Mayadagan. If given a power, I will send people who have not seen have not seen Mayadagan out of the school. That much I like Mayadagan. You like Mayadagan? Right, amazing film. There is a trivia here I want to add. When I met Prem, I told him I have seen Mayadagan some 18 times. Prem was a director of the film, and he said, I pity you. And Nandini, I repeat the same thing to you. She said her fictional character which she likes is Mayadagan a lot. And go to Nandini about what is your take of that. Yes, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nandini and I'll be the R counter for today's meeting. Before I explain my role, I'd like to share a quick thought on luck that inspired me. So, have you ever looked at someone successful and thought, wow, they're so lucky? But recently I came across an article about luck engineering and it said luck can be manufactured and it can be created. Because luck is not just happens to certain people on random basis, and one of the easiest ways to create luck is by being curious. As adults, we stop asking questions and being curious. So from today onwards, let's make it a habit to ask one question every single day to create our own opportunities and therefore luck. Okay. Now coming back to my role, as the R counter, I'll be carefully looking for filler words and sounds that are used without any context. With filler words includes and, so, like, but, along with sounds such as, I will also notice the repetitive phrases like I, and you know. At the end of the meeting, I will present my report on how often these expressions are used by each speaker, and I'll give my report on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Nandini. The next person in my team is the grammarian. Not mandatory. I'll just finish this with this. Right. So the next person in the role is grammarian. Cosmos Anish. I think he's the youngest the person. And when did you join Toastmasters? When did you? Ask, okay, for an exact the moment from see we have in Toastmasters we have another beautiful fraternity called it's what should I say an initiative of Toastmasters is what I would call. It's a part of Toastmasters. It's called Cavaliers. Trust me, people are there in the Cavalier Club and then they have become Toastmasters. What they shine and outshine everybody. We struggle a lot. I would say request people who have their sons, daughters, put them on Cavaliers. I'm not selling Toastmasters here, but Cavalier is a beautiful fraternity. Technically, to me, Anish is a Cavalier today, and also a grammarian. Yes, Anish, what is your role going to be?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and imagine you're cruising in a highway. You're going on a journey. The journey is wonderful. But suddenly, on the road, you see few puddles and some potholes. The whole journey agrees as you go into it. The same way, when you delivering a speech or speaking for the moment, small grammatical errors will ruin the confidence in your speech. Not only that, when you're trying to make functional language, it feels so good. The same way, when you deliver into a speech, it feels like you have a lot of confidence that those. So as a grammarian, my role is to have knowledge of small words such as grammatical errors. And also I've been informing that it's better usage of the
Thank you, Toastmaster Anish. And about his fictional characters, Anish likes Iron Man a lot. Why reason? Maybe we will just after the meeting we can just check with him why he likes Iron Man. And as if there is a small confusion about this agenda, I think we will just slightly go off the meeting and just decide this and then come back. Now, one particular speaker, he has got we need a projector and a laptop, it is not available. So I will want to shift the speech to next week.
I'm going to yes, but I think this is opportunity.
So what it is absolutely the speaker between the speaker and the evaluator. If the project insists on a presentation or anything, is it insisting?
It insists, but there'll be a better impact if there's a.
No, that is the speaker to decide.
Yes.
If without a thing, the project will not be called. It is not given that way.
It's not given that way.
I would say you can just go ahead without. You need without a presentation, your speech cannot go. Are you referring anything? Exactly. See, we are all here to try that. Unless and until the project says this is mandatory. See, this is. I would always say this is the place where we should fail. For example, the person who started the meeting today, our speaker today, scenario is here. This is the place where we can fail. I would say if you are not failing in this place, you are acting or you are not learning. Very, very simple. Come here, let's fail here, let's understand what is happening, then we can. If the project says it's mandatory, then the game is very different. As a general evaluator, my report should come at the end, but as a general evaluator, it's my duty also to say, Toastmasters after we are running late, so slightly shorten the thing and over to Toastmasters. Thank you.
Start with our for that. So we'll get on to the prepared speeches now. To start off with, we'll start with the first speaker. Before I introduce the first speaker, let me introduce the first panel. We have Harni, Toastmaster Harni. Toastmaster Harni is an HR professional with over 10 years of experience in HR and money consulting. She's currently working as a travel management lead at a firm in Chennai. When I asked about which fictional character she relates to the most, she chose Olaf from Frozen because of his cheerful nature, his thoughtful outlook, and easy to say hopeful even during difficult situations. Toastmaster.
Today, Toastmaster Pradeep Kumar is going to present his first project in level 2 in the pathway dynamic leadership. The purpose of the project is for the member to identify his primary leadership style, and the purpose of his speech is for the member to share some aspect of his primary leadership style or discuss leadership styles in general. And please note, the duration of the speech is 5 to 7 minutes.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Our first speaker today, Toastmaster Pradeep Kumar, works in the digital technology and automation space, where every day brings a new puzzle to solve. He also enjoys exploring new places, meeting new people, and learning something new from every experience. When I asked about which fictional character he relates to most, he chose Iron Man because, like the character, he believes in redesigning and improving whenever something fails. Those must Toastmaster, pressure reveals leadership.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and my guests. I am Pradeep Kumar Subramanian. Over the last 6 to 8 months in Toastmasters, I have been speaking about the various phases of my life. I started delivering speeches about my childhood memories, my college days. Even I spoke about my career where I started from Congress and Finland. But today, I want to deliver a speech something different, where I changed my transformation from an individual contributor to a leadership role. So that transition really inspired me a lot. As an individual contributor, you are responsible only for the tasks and the deliveries for the day. You join the office, you get the things done, assigned to you, you deliver. But when it comes for leadership, it's not only you are responsible, it's the entire team's responsible. You need to deliver the team's output. So that transition completely changed the way I thought, I worked, and I handled the pressure. So I want to talk about one such incident which completely transformed my role from individual contributor to leadership role. During COVID 2020, I worked with Radiant, an eBay enterprise company. So it's an e-commerce company and dropshipping. I'm not sure how many of you know about it, but let me explain quickly what kind of a company it is. So most of you do an online shopping, am I right? Okay. So you place an order online and you make sure it's delivered. But have you ever anyone wondered how the things are delivered to you? Anyone?
Because I also work for an e-commerce.
Okay. Yeah. So our product decides how to deliver the order so soon, fast, and economical. For example, we are sitting right now in Adaya and we are placing an order, and our system determines instead of shipping from Bangalore, Kolkata, Mumbai, try to find the order, whether it's nearby in Adaya or Pune, whichever locations, if I'm able to deliver as soon as possible. But right now, we can able to see if you place an order in another 1 hour, you can deliver it in the same day. But even we are about place an order in another 20 minutes, instantly it will be delivered. So this is the kind of application we have been working with. So in United States, normally Thanksgiving is one of the biggest holiday season. So where we'll get orders like millions of orders will be placed per day. Generally we place 1,000 to 3,000 orders per day. But during a season, festival season, the system is getting crashed because it's a deal. So in India we have a big billion sale, lot of sales, but in the United States, once the holiday season, which is a big season. So we work entirely 3 to 4 months to prepare the system for this festival holiday shopping. We clean up the system, we make sure the database is running, everything's up there. Doing this work, one fine night at 3 a.m. in the early morning, we're getting a call from the United States. You miss the call, second, you're attending the call. Any expectations, what it will be? Any guess? Anybody? Just a simple work they ask you to do. Just shut down your system, don't even log in your system, hard press. Don't try to log in and shut down. Just hard press your laptop. So it's a ransom attack. The company got hijacked from Russian ransom emails. So completely the entire organization's email IDs, everyone collapsed. Everyone joined the WhatsApp situations, and the management is getting panicked, the customers getting panicked, the orders are not delivered, everyone in a deadlock situations. So that situation forced every individual just to sleeve up the roles and take up the individual contributor roles from leadership roles. So even everyone got nervous. Even I got nervous whether I can able to do this, my team can do this, whether I am confident to do this. But we don't have no other choices. We have been forced to do it. We have been delivered. So at that time, I understand my leadership style. So even I stayed calm and I made sure my team is also able to deliver. So I had my fear inside. Particularly, I was feeling very nervous, but I didn't show outside. And I understand my leadership style during at that time. So I handle it in two different ways. One is I motivated people emotionally, and second, I teach and mentor. It's not about only one tech stack I know. We learn whatever roles we are doing. I'm a developer, QA, customer support, whatever role of the day we want to do, we get ahead and we change the way of working. At the situation, instead of worrying why this happened, I asked myself and to the team, what can we do right now to solve this? That situation completely changed the atmosphere. We all worked 20 hours per day continuously for 3 months to bring back the system up and online. We rebuilt the systems, we rebuilt the orders, we completely delivered and brought back the system up. So that situation brought who I am and evolved myself as a good leader. And instead, I didn't do ask, you must do this, but instead, how we can do this. And even the same situation explained me or introduced myself about the biggest mistakes what I was doing. So I was saying yes to all the things. So can you help? Yes. Can you handle this? Yes. Can you take up this role? Yes. But I was very hard struggle to say no. So that situation also made me to say the leadership skill is not about always being available, setting the benchmarks not only for you and the teams. So that is the situation where I've been evolved. Coming back to the final delivery. So the pressure not only reveals the leadership, it also evolves what kind of relationships you have been and how you have been delivering and how you are handling the team. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Lovely speech. Yes. So my next speaker is Professor Jason. Before that, I'd like to call Postmaster Robert, who will be the evaluator. When I asked him, let me introduce him. He's a Robert, the Postmaster Robert, works with Cognizant, is also a farmer. When I asked which fictional character he relates to most, he mentioned Tom and Jerry because it reminds him of playful moments he spent goofing around with children his age during his childhood.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Very good afternoon. Today, Toastmaster Venkatesan will be delivering a speech, second speech from Pathways Presentation Mastery, Project 4 Better Speaker Series, Impromptu Speaking. The objective of today's speech is explain why impromptu speaking is important for a Toastmasters club. Timer, please note the duration of the speech is 10 to 15 minutes. All the very best, Toastmaster.
Why just Postmaster Venkatesan works as a domain expert at a leading IPR firm in Chennai. When I asked him which fictional character he relates to most, he chose Iron Man because, like the character, he enjoys processing information and helping people with their day-to-day tasks. Postmaster Venkatesan.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters. Other than Toastmasters, can you tell me the acronym of TT? Other than Toastmasters, can you tell me the acronym of TT?
Table tennis?
Yeah, you can take it as a table tennis also. But table tennis and Toastmasters called table topics. Table topic is registered trademark by Toastmaster International Corporation. Table topics is registered trademark registered by Toastmaster International Corporation. Table topic is nothing but impromptu speak. When the speaker calls you randomly, he will throw the questions, surprise questions. But the speaker should deliver their speech, thinking on their feet and deliver the speech with purpose. That is called table topics. I have learned another technique through table topics. Without PowerPoint, I am going to deliver my speech. There is 4 methods out there. PRP method. Point, remember and evaluate and restate your point. These 4 points you should follow in the table topics. The person will ask you random questions. For that, it is very difficult for the guest to attend the question rapidly. Then they should take a breath, like what Toastmaster was talking about that, and then think about that. Begin your own story, connect with that story, begin the story, make it, and finish it within 1 to 2 minutes. Less than 1 minute is disqualified. Higher than 2 minutes 30 seconds are disqualified. But Toastmaster table topic enhanced my linguistic skills because you can think on your feet and you can deliver a speech. My own experience in 2015, I was attending a Viva for trademark attorney exams in Control General Patent Trademarks in Mumbai head office. 3 IRS officers. One IRS officer was asking me a question because there is a classification and trademark law and practice you should make thorough. You have to succeed in 60% in theory. Afternoon, you have to succeed about 50% for that exam to pass that. The 3 IRS officers, one IRS officer like Mr. Ranjit, he was asking that he was holding the table like this way. And then wall mounted AC was there. I was sitting opposite to them, the 3 IRS officer. He was asking, Venkat, pan falls under which class? Pan falls under which? I heard that pan. Pan means kitchen utensils. That is in class 21. Pan means that is in class 7. That was my last question. And I told him, sir, like Toastmasters, I said, excuse me, sir, I never asked, pardon me, sir, it is very difficult to understand your question. They'll put a negative mark. I said, sir, if I understood correctly, if it is a pan in class 21, kitchen utensils, if it is a fan, FAN means class 7. He appreciated my efforts and he wants to confuse me because these IRS officers to succeed in the exam, they will make you confusion. I have overcome that problem because of I'm attending table topics. I adopt table topics because you will get a confidence, stage fear, and in front of the audience. See, I got the confidence because of Kalyan. With the PPT also you can speak because with the PPT the lot of confidence was there. Unfortunately, the laptop, there was a miscommunication between me and Mr. Nare, Mr. Nare. My only suggestion, I don't want to say is my advice is, if anybody is keep on trying table topics, they can overcome the problems, the fear, the stage fear. You can think, now I can track the oppositions within 10 to 15 pages without any trouble. That flow is there. Just imagine the first speech when I delivered, I think Kalyan knows about that in photograph. I could not start my speech like Sergeant Arms. Sir, this is a stepping stones. You should fail in this stage. In this dance, then only you learn more. Now you see the confidence, no? Without anything I am talking. Then the table topics gives me confidence and to raise the bar in my professional life as well as in my personal life. I won't get answer to my wife or my son. Whatever the questions there is, find out the subject, I give quite. Here I will answer it, there I won't say that. Table topics help me to handle those situations. There is one technique is there in table topics. Whenever the speaker will ask you a question, if you don't know the answer, but normally what they are doing that, they should ask the question the theme based. The question should be very simple, but I have noticed they are asking very long questions. Normally in table topics, the questions will be single line, like mountains or beaches. Which one is better, tea versus coffee? What do you like most? Milk or water? Like that way they have asked. But in some table topic masters, they used to ask such a big question. It is very difficult to recollect in your brain and reciprocate for the questions. That is the reason. But my humble suggestion, all the table topic master, they should ask a question in a crisp manner. It is very easy to answer, especially that that's not only the master. The seasoned Toastmasters will handle the stage very well. There is a knack in Toastmaster. I myself will do that. Whenever they'll ask you a question, if I don't know the subject, if it is a more technical or any other thing, what I am thinking about this question is, then you should connect with my personal story. That's the way I used to handle. Because of this, my thinking power is enhanced. Even though I studied in English medium from 6 to MCA, the main problem what we are facing in Chennai, we never used to talk in English. Even in studies also, what they will ask you, Machan, every quarter in statistics, statistics method, local subtraction method or northeast west method. The answer comes on one time. If I reply in English, what they will say then, Machan, figure out what the number is. They will say that. That fear was there when I studied in the college, in PG also. I'm telling you, I studied in government art college only. But these type of problems are there. I joined Toastmasters. I was a core technical person in my company. I'm a cyber I used to find out daily 3 or 4 fake websites and I inform the clients and I help them to retrieve the domain. Later, I switch over, I transferred my profession as attorney, trademark attorney, to draft the opposition before the arbitration firm. I joined in Toastmasters. Even that is also fun. Kalyan knows about Mr. Sunil Jose, advocate. He called me 14 years back. Venkat, will come tomorrow at 2:25 near Kodumpuram police station. My mother and my wife was saying that his advocate is calling you to reach at 2:25. Be careful because he is advocate. Actually, he did a good thing for me. He told me that Venkat, use the opportunity. At 150th meeting with the Tyagarajan Pacific, I joined in Toastmasters in 2012. Kalyan knows about that. But Toastmaster is one of the best platforms. You should use the opportunity. I request you 1 to 2 minutes for table topics. That is why whenever they are calling you, but lot of you guys they are refusing to. They are saying that next meeting I will attend. Next meeting I will represent. It's not like that. You should use the opportunity. This is the place to fail, as Kalyan said. Table topics. Some people will have language, knowledge. Knowledge is different. Language, lingual skills are different. Some people they are living with the language, but if you use your brain whenever in table topics, whenever you are answering the question in table topic, definitely it will enhance your linguistic skills and thinking skills also. I would like to complete my speech with this.
Before we get to our time limit, I have both speakers. Now we can vote for the best speaker. Because I think only one is okay, I think now we will move on to the next session, which is probably the fun session, which is table topics. Now, I'm going to hand this over to Toastmaster Nitin, who I've become quite friendly with over the last few weeks. And Toastmaster Nitin is a seasoned IT leader who is deeply passionate about executive presence and leadership development. When I asked him about a fictional character, he gave me a very different answer. He mentioned Simon Sinek, not a fictional character, but somehow whose leadership principles and thought process closely aligned with his own. Toastmaster Nitin.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Am I audible last bench? Audible? I really want to say thanks to Toastmaster Karan for coming up such a meaningful theme. It says stories that shape us. Actually, stories do shape us. Let me share my story. On one fine day, I thought that during school time, I thought that I'll start making money and then I'll give it to my mom. What I did, being from a big family, Whenever my uncle coming to home, I say, give me 1 rupee. Other uncle came, give me 2 rupees. My father came, give me 2 rupees, 3 rupees, something like that. Within a week, I collected 20 rupees. Fully charged, went to my mom. Mom, I earned 20 rupees for me. An interesting thing is, my mom did not take it. She says, how you got it? I said, I earned it. My mom said, no, you did not earn it. You played it in front of your uncle and to your father, and this is not earning. And I am not taking it. It really hurt me at that time. Until today, I try a lot thinking that what did I do for those 20 rupees? Trust me, I am not able to recollect. But what message stays with me is, what is the meaning of money? So stories do shape us. With that, let's get started. And our table topic. So I did not get the names. I'll just wait. I'll start with guest. Please. Follow your name, please.
Hello, my name is Tarak Raman. I live in Thiraviyur, Upper Swami Springs, Rajaji Nagar. I've completed my.
I think you introduced. I have a question for you. Tell us your favorite discovery. Tell us your favorite discovery.
History.
Story.
My favorite story is Supandi. This is a comic story where Supandi is a character who tries to do good things, but whatever he does is not applicable or tortures the people, whoever who gives work to him. Whenever I read a story, it is very funny, goofy, etc. Other than that,
I'll invite Toastmaster Pravina. One incident of your life which you believe you learned the most from.
One incident in my life that I believe that I learned from most. Okay. Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. When I was in UKG, because I remember it so vividly, I love chocolates, I love sweets, but coming from a joint family, a very big family, it was extremely middle class. We never used to get much things that we wanted. Even something like a chocolate was very difficult for us to get. So when I was in nursery school, there was one boy who would always get chocolates to school. Okay, and I used to ask him, he would never give me. So once what I did, I quietly opened this pencil box. There was a chocolate inside it. I unwrapped it and I put it in my mouth and I was eating. And that boy came and asked, where is the chocolate? And I was actually having it inside my mouth, enjoying it and telling him, I don't know where your chocolate is. Maybe somebody has stolen it. And it was me, and he was pretty smart. He went and told the teacher about it. And the kind of thrashing that I got from the teacher, I can still feel the pain. Not only that, she even told my mom about it. So it was one of the best or worst experience, which has completely molded me now. Because it was not more about the stealing, it was more about the lying part. And so the teacher said, no matter what, you should never lie in life. So mainly I hit you because you should never ever lie to anybody in your life anymore. So that is what I have understood. And now, yes, being truthful, sometimes I really rub people on the wrong side many a times, but I feel that is much better than lying. Thank you so much.
I would invite guest. Please. Which is your favorite superhero or superwoman?
Superhero?
Superwoman.
Good evening, Toastmasters quite difficult for me to think immediately because I have a lot of superheroes. But one superhero I could say is Swami Vivekananda because I follow a lot of spiritual things and I always feel that thinking positively brings in a lot of good energy within us. I also think about manifestations. In my childhood days, I heard about manifestations, although I was not very keen. But when I started reading about Swami Vivekananda, there are a lot of good things he has told about it, and I started following gradually, if not 100%. But something stuck in my mind that I should always be true to whatever I do in my life. That started continuing from my childhood till date. Even though I'm working, in an MNC, but I feel that being true to yourself and true to others is very, very important. Whatever the matters to be, follow your traditions, follow your roots, and that is very important. And have the spiritual, connect within yourself. That's very important for all of us being in the India, which is truly connected to the spiritual roots. And that is one good thing I feel that from Swami Vivekananda I've learned something that be calm and be patient. Whatever you think it will happen in your life, be patient. That is one good thing which I've learned. And there is one more also I would like to share with everyone that be empathetic and be sympathy. That is also one good thing which I come across while reading this book. It's not that easy for everyone to get the empathy or sympathy. We know the difference between the empathy and sympathy, but when we get into the situation, it will not happen every time to be empathy or sympathy. So we have to mind the situations and then see how it can be handled, and then we should take it forward. So that is one.
Thank you. I invite Toastmaster Ranjit. If your life stories are written in the form of a book, what title would you like to give that book and why?
Life stories written in a book. What title I written into the book? It's a comedy of errors. So it has been a comedy of errors through my life. And if you look back, there was instances where I used to feel anxious, worried, fear. But now when I look back, it's all just comedy of errors, and it's just beautiful time that the childhood when we go through a lot of mistakes. Like in school days, right? In school, I used to fear when teacher asked me a question, right? I used to tremble like anything. Now when I look back, just he's a human being. He was asking something. I used to get scared, right? So there is a lot of comedy of errors, but that has shaped me who I am today. And I believe this comedy of errors will continue, keep shaping me. What else I can think of? And yes, even recently also, right? In recent days, you look back, I get into instances where it is you take that instance seriously. Very small things you take it seriously, but all those things are just small errors which you look back and laugh at. Thank you.
Toastmaster Ranjit. What's a moment in your life that still makes you feel, yes, I did it?
Hello everyone. Yeah, there is a moment in my life that I feel different. It's obviously I'm a chartered accountant. When I finally cleared my CA exams, I felt like wow, I did it. Because I was studying for it for 5 long years. When people ask me to go for some movies or go to some parties everywhere, I usually say to them, no, I'm studying. And most of my friends are not from the CA background also. They usually, what, you're going to study all the time or what? Why are you lying to us like that? But obviously, after articleship, the time for studying itself very less for me. So on the date of result, when I was traveling in a metro and I saw the result, there's no signal or anything. I just tried to see my result. It was rolling and rolling, and after a point in time, I saw that like thing has passed. Wow, it is done. Then immediately I just take the opposite train and came back to my home. I didn't call my mom before. I just randomly go knock the door and she was like, "No, only started to your office. Why are you coming back?" And she asked me, "Why are you standing there, Ma? I passed." Like I just told Amma and I passed in Tamil, and she was like, "Wow!" So the feeling of inner eyes that felt so personal, and that moment I said, "Wow, I will." Thank you. Thank you.
Toastmaster Rohit. Tell us a situation where you confidently gave advice to someone and that person got immensely benefited.
You very good afternoon back again. Not a person who gives advice, who kind of advise people, but only time I actually advise is give back this bit of feedback during my post-masters media. I would consider that as a bit for advice, but otherwise in life I don't advise anybody, I only take advice. Because I need a lot of advice, I need to do a lot of correction myself if I have to advise something. Because point of time I think I'm not in a position to advise anybody. I can guide somebody here and there, probably my nephews and nieces, I guide them, but I don't advise them. When I advise them, I think I've got hit badly because I didn't spoke. I mean, I got a fair deal of brickbats when I advise my nephews and nieces, but of course we are from different generations. They don't take advices really well. So I think that was a kind of a learning lesson also for me, not to give any free advices. So I don't advise it. Thank you.
Tell us any of your favorites.
I think he really hates me because of really hates me. Because in spite of what happened at the beginning, okay, so my favorite story is something which happened to me, really. Okay, so I had a superpower when I was young. My superpower was I was always good at spellings. Okay. So I always used to get 10 out of 10. Always. I used to always get always 10 out of 10. And once the spelling test was very tough. It was very tough, and I knew that I won't get. That I won't be. I definitely won't get 10 out of 10. Okay, so I got 7. Okay, so I got 7 out of 10, and then all of the others got 0. Okay, that is my favorite story. I'll never forget.
Time of bonus time more there. I would invite Toastmaster Harini. Tell us a situation where you learn what not to do.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. I'm an HR professional. At times, what happens when we have interactions with employees, they always tend to ask few questions to know certain confidential information, what's being decided by the management. So what we happen to do is, I always tend to have this problem-solving mindset. So whenever something is asked, we need to maybe subtly avoid being diplomatic by not letting them know what is actually being done. For example, they might ask you, what is the plan this time? Are you planning to go for a revision? Or they might ask, why have you laid off somebody? So when such sensitive questions are being asked, I have to manage this role of being friendly to somebody, but at the same time not revealing too much. So once when I was having a conversation with one of the employee, so I was playing the role of telling that person that he used to work beyond his work hours. So actually, I wanted to be a friend and then tell him that he needs to set boundaries, but he was playing a critical role in business. So then he flipped the words, saying that the HR is asking me not to work beyond my work hours, so I'm not going to take calls. So then his manager came and then told me, Harini, did you say that? And then I told that that was definitely on a friendly note, and I did not do as a management or HR professional. So then we came to a conference hall and we had a very heated debate where I had to really maybe lie to some extent to say no, I didn't mean that, and then tell him that I didn't play a role of HR, but as a friend I told you that maybe you need to set boundaries, but I'm not going to tell you as a HR professional. So you are in a critical role and you are required to take a business calls. So this is something that I learned that which I am not supposed to do in a hard way. Thank you very much.
Yes, I think we can call it out with me. Tell us a story which your mom that told you, and that is still very close to your heart. Hi, good evening. Prashant. The one story I feel which is common for all of us from our now will be some ghost or some kind of a demonic story. So they always say being in a village, they could hear the sounds of police. I don't know what it's called in English.
Anklet.
Anklet, yes. Anklet, and growing up to that, and later on when you know all the scientific terms for what's happening, you get to know that an insect makes an exact same sound as anklet. So these are a few stories which my mom has told me, and traumatized my first few years of life, but now it's fine. Thank you. With that, we come close to today's table topic session. Yes, stories do. We have one. Please. With that, yeah, story shapes us. Keep on telling and sharing stories. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Great session. Now I am going to hand this off to Postmaster Pagyan, who has an education session on meeting works. Postmaster Pagyan.
That is what happens when you don't take a ticket to discover and then go. I'm going to bore you for that. Last year also people who came in, remember, I'm going to be on to occupy the stage. But usually this is not the way Toastmaster meeting is done. There are set of role players who run a meeting. Now we are going to have a quick answer, okay? It's going to be, all of us know this. Count Manager the fastest finger first. We all know. Members and guests, people have come. You have been to a Toastmaster meeting before? Once before, right? You are not new. So this question is not to you because you are new. You have come to a meeting before, right now, which means this question is to all of us, right? All of us are going to answer at one. I'll just say go. Ask the question and immediately say go. All of us are going to give an answer. Shall we? Ready? Sure? I can hear only 2 years.
Yes.
Right. Shall we?
Yes.
How many meeting roles are there? Go.
7.
3, 7, 6. 6.
8.
Yeah, no, you are counting. No, your time. Right. Okay, right. So now, life is all about observation. How many years? See, let me not embarrass you and ask you how many years Toastmaster you are, how many years Toastmaster you are. We are seeing the agenda week over week. And we are all living in an era where if you don't have information in hand, you are out of the race. You can't even, you cannot relate to your son, your niece, nephew, and anything, and let it be a profession. So this meeting agenda, all of us see. See, earlier we used to take a printout of a meeting agenda, give it to all the members, and then we removed it only because of the budgetary constraints, and then there was also some protest saying that it's no more a green meeting and all those stuff. That's a different topic altogether. Now coming back here, now shall we go again, do it again? How many meeting roles are there? By now, somebody should have smart enough, they have counted. Quick, go. No, Arun is on. Now let me read. Shall we all count? 1, surgeon at arms. Then what is the second number? What follows 1? 2, presiding officer. 3, 4, 5, tag. Timer. Let's go in the order of the meeting. How the meeting started, right? Let's from the beginning. 1, surgeon at arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, timer. 6, R counter. 7, grammarian. 8, I will call that as a speaker. And then the 9 can be evaluator. And then the 10 is topics master, table topics, which means a meeting has got 10 specific roles, right? Now, usually to have a very powerful meeting, if the meeting strength is somewhere around 18, which means we can have a full house. Reason being, 18 wide, at least 3 speeches, and then 3 evaluators. Usually, there are other clubs. You all know Toastmasters is an organization where we are a 100-year-old organization. Most of how many of you are less than 6 months Toastmasters in this room? 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to bore you with them. Right? Now, let's understand the structure of a Toastmaster. Maybe your VPM would have told you and other things. Let's understand the fraternity which all of you are sitting here. This is a club. Right? Our club has got a number. Who knows the club number? There is a club has got a number. How many of us know that? 120. See, again and again I'm asking you, there is something that is called a, have you not seen or you not keeping your eyes and ears open? What is the club number? Right, okay, let's come back here. So there is a club number. Now, okay, there are 2 things. How many of you have seen the agenda? Right? There is something is called as an area, division, district. Right? Which division we are in? That is district. That is C is our division. Area. Now let's dissect this further. Medley Toastmasters is a club, and we all belong to an area that is C3. This area belongs to a division called Division C. This division belongs to a district called District 120. Now, this district belongs to a region called Region 13. This region again belongs to Toastmasters International. Now, let's come from the hierarchical way. Toastmasters International is an organization where it is headquartered in US. Toastmasters International is not a registered entity in India. It is headquartered in US. We all pay our fees directly to Toastmasters. Now, then what happens is there are regions. As of now, there are 14 regions. A lot of restructuring is happening. You all get to know in the groups what is going to happen. Our Toastmaster year is usually July to June 30th. And why such a small attendance today is there is a district conference which is running there. This district conference happens every year. I'll just come to that now. Toastmasters, region, under region there will be districts. One district will usually have some 7 to 8 divisions. What is the 7 to 8 divisions? Means one division will have 3 to 4 areas. One area will have 5 clubs. As of now, we belong to District 120. This 120, District 120 has got 9, 10, 11 divisions. I think we have some 172 clubs. What is happening while we are speaking today at this particular moment? Our district is getting split. And then from July onwards, we will be moving to a new district called District 229. How many of you remember seeing a mail which came in from Toastmasters International? We are moving into a new district, which means as of now our district 120 is full of Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry. Now, from July 1st onwards, Chennai, Vellore, Pondicherry alone is going to be district 229. Rest of Tamil Nadu, a part of Karnataka and Kerala is going to be district 230. This district, there are a lot of roles. What are all the roles? District director is the top person, and then other roles. What I will do is, in the next session, we will get on to the roles of a district, what are all the leadership opportunities in this particular thing. Why should I suddenly speak about district roles when I'm going to speak about a meeting role? I would personally say every role in this particular meeting will prepare you to be a leader outside the district. Every role in this meeting will prepare you to be whatever designation or profession you are in, we can map. Let's take randomly to take. What do you do?
I'm into IT.
IT what?
I'm into IT leadership.
IT, no, you have a title, right? What do you do? In your
Director
office. What is it?
I'm director IT.
He's a director IT. What is your roles? What do you do at office? You have your roles and responsibilities.
Yeah, predominantly taking care of deliveries into IT for
delivery. Let me take the keywords. Delivery of IT into your thing. Now, let's take this profession. You map to any of the meeting roles we do. You can map all his work will be linked, record, a skill of any one particular meeting role here. Let's take surgery terms. IT as IT director, he is supposed to start and deliver anything on time. Right? You will agree with me. A surgeon term is the person who starts the meeting on time. You take any role, any of you sitting in this room. Now what I will do is I'll just visit each and individual roles. Any of you sitting in this room, relate your work, anything you do, all these roles will be playing as a very crucial, the learning of these roles will play a crucial role in your work. So let's go one by one as a role. I would like the timer to show me a yellow 5 minutes before my end of time. Right? Right. So let me start from the final role which we had for today. That is going to be the topics master. As a table topic master, as our speaker mentioned today, the only one copyrighted work of Toastmasters is table topics. This is an indigenously developed module of Toastmasters. Toastmasters has got a copyright. For an example, I have a company when I am going to practice Toast table topics in my company, it's a violation. It's a protocol violation. Because it's a copyrighted product of Toastmasters. Table topics. As a table topic master, what you will learn, what we will do for the sake of simplicity, what we will do, I'll just say, look, what you are supposed to do, what you will learn, what the club will learn. We'll just quick visits, because all the time I have is another 20 minutes max. So what I will do is I'll just quickly say, hey, look, what you are supposed to do, what you will learn, and what the club will learn, right? Let's start from others. What the club will learn is the members and the guests, they are going to learn off the cuff speaking. What is off the cuff speaking? Because the word goes this way. I should be in a position to come off the cuff. See, ideally, this is where all of us need to develop our skills in. Reason being, for an example, you come out of a theatre and then say, how is the film? The moment we see the camera from here, we go the other side. Most of us do. Not after Toastmasters meeting at least. That's what I would personally say. So, as the contribution to the club is going to be, to the members is going to be, you are going to make them speak off the cuff. Here at the stage, what you will do, as a topics master, let me call Rohit on stage. I am the table topic master. Now let me do a role of what the table topic master is supposed to do and how table topics is done. First I will introduce, first of all, how this role is done. As a table topic master, for the sake of simplicity, I am going to mention that as topics master. As a topic master, you will come here, first of all, explain, irrespective whether it is a boring statement to do, there will be guests, people will not remember, you will come and say, if I am a table topic master, what I will do now, I will just say, hello everybody, or good evening everybody, whatever salutations you do. And then I say, today I am going to play the role of a table topic master. My role is to call and make you eligible or prepare you for an impromptu speaking. My speech will be timed for 1 to 2 minutes. Timer will be showing green card at 1 minute. At amber, 1 minute 30 seconds, you will show amber, and second minute you will show red, and you can speak more than, and you have another 30 seconds for you to qualify for vote. People who don't qualify, which means you don't even cross your 1 minute speech, you will not be qualified for vote. You are going to repeat this again and again. Recently, a guest would have come. He or she, or the particular guest, will not be knowing what is voting, how to speak, what is all. Above everything, you are installing one particular thought to a member. Hey, look, you can speak more. It's not you are simply coming and repeating. Okay, it may be a very boring stuff. Okay, 1 minute green, 1 minute 30 seconds amber, 2 minutes red. It's not that way. What happens is probably Rohit will be sitting there, and then if he says, okay, today if I'm going to call for T2, I'm going to try for 2 minutes. Just to pass that particular message is what as a topics master is supposed to come repeat. Now, this is what you will go start the meeting. I'm going to call, so my title I'm going to call, give it to the next speaker as assuming this I'm not going to reveal. I'm going to call, give a title called as time and type wait for that. Okay, this is what all of us. Now, this is I'm a topics master. Now let me call Postmaster Rohit on stage. Shake hands, given the particular conference of what is here and what is that. Postmaster Rohit, your topic is time and type, wait for none. Time and type, wait for none. Postmaster Rohit. Now I go here, sit in. He knows the topic now. He will not ask what is the topic. People are all very clear on what he is going to speak. This is how table topics is done. So call this person on stage, look at them, tell him the topic, look at the audience, tell the topic. By that particular time, he gathers time, and this is also topics master. Bring 10 topics. Usually, preferably, if you are going to play the role of a topics master, you call 2, 3. It's not senior, junior. Idea is call people who have been in the club for a little longer time. Because you are setting the tempo of the speaker. For an example, if I am a speaker today, I'll first call Praveen, then I'll call Harini, then I'll call Venkat. So they know what is topics, they know how to speak. Then I'll call the guests, so it will be easier for them to adapt to this. And then the moment the momentum sets, they will all start speaking. So this is what you will do as a topics master. Now, speaker and evaluator, you all know. You will prepare. As a mentor assigned, you will send your script to your mentor, and then your mentor will approve it, and then you come here to evaluate. How many of you send your? I don't want answers. Work within yourself. You are not going to prepare your speech. Send it to the mentor. Get that approved. Inform the VP saying, hey, look, my speech is approved by my mentor, and then come to stage. I do not know how many of us follow the practice. Let's bring the practice. Coming back here, then there is an evaluator. As an evaluator, before coming in, a group will be formed for the meeting. So, in that particular meeting, I would request the speakers to at least drop the message of what is the evaluation, what is the project, 48 hours before. Because everybody is not going to be like Karan, who has got a lot of, in the sense of he prepares a lot. Nobody prepares to the meeting that way. Say, for example, I appreciate it. I really appreciate the thing. But what happens is, they're all busy with their own work. As an evaluator, you suddenly put in what has to be evaluated today morning, when they will prepare. So give them adequate time. So as a speaker, prepare, send this message, speeches to your mentor, get that approved. 48 hours before, put your message, project, work, everything into the meeting group, and then come in. See, as a speaker, as I mentioned, let's take IT director, topics master, he is going to improve on how to communicate and how to speak. As a speaker, he is going to understand what is the protocol, what it is. Every speech, every role you play in this particular meeting role will be directly assigned or aligned to the work you do. So, as a speaker and an evaluator, this is what you do. Speaker, evaluator, everybody will be doing very proper. So, the other role which we normally I'll just take in is TMOD and general evaluator and TAT. TMOD role, I need not have to say anything about TMOD role. Today's meeting is a classic example of how TMOD role is done. Understand what is the amount of work this man has done. Right? Exactly. Classic way of, see, if you are here at TMOD and then not having notes, if you are here at TMOD, to me, if you are at TMOD or a GE without notes, which means you are not, see, a very person, I call this as Kalyan hypothesis, which means you are not that sincere to the role. This is a commendable job. Exactly, okay, how a TMOD role is done, simple. Simply do what Karan did today. That is how the TMOD role is done. I think 4 days before he sent me a message. One thing alone, I'll add a little more to what Karan did. He sent us a message, all of us asked what is your role, what you are doing. Instead of sending a message, I would recommend you to call, because the idea of Toastmaster Club is to improve your interpersonal communication. See what happens now, somehow as Toastmasters, all of us are improving our communication skills. Somewhere we slightly are little more fail on our interpersonal skills. Especially after this WhatsApp and email, there is no communication at all. So, moment you are unable to see, you are a great speaker, man, you can't start a conversation in a train journey with a person traveling next. Improve that here. One thing alone, I'll just give an input to what Karan did today. Call Karan and then, call your speak role, because minimum you have a chance to speak to 18 people. It's a wonderful opportunity. You can improve your intercommunication. Instead of sending on WhatsApp, see, I would have told why I like James Bond. I would have, see, you get to know me more. See, that is how a club is only built by the camaraderie which we follow. How this gets improved is one particular TMOD speaks to 18 people, 15 people minimum. We should have time. But I would say on the go we can speak to 15 people. 15 people also. The moment you understand or visualize in 26 meetings in a term, a TMOD, 26 TMODs, at least 23 TMODs, 23 people would have spoken to, see, this is 23, C, 58. The chart accountant can tell us how is the probability number, it will come in, right? That many number of interpersonal communication will happen in the club. See, that is how club culture is built. That's how the camaraderie is built. That's how the friendship is done. How is that? Do you know? Venkat suddenly says in 2013, Tyagarajan was a 15 member, and I immediately vividly remember a man with a white and white with a colored tie coming and then speaking. I remember those days. Why not? Those were not the days with WhatsApp. We used to call. It's not phone itself will not be there. We used to stand outside, speak. Okay, next week I am in the meeting. What is that your role? That is how we built it. I am speaking about 2011, 12. Looks very ancient to all of us. Now this is what TMOD is done. How we ended. A G role is nothing but you are a watchdog here. You come here. G role. How a G role is done? When I give a G report, I will map that and then say we'll just say. So let's quick run this. Roles, surgeon at arms, as a surgeon at arms. Also, what is supposed to be done, I will just say in my GE report. What a presiding officer has done. The presiding officer has nothing. The presiding officer is going to come here, understand, speak to the guest, because open the meeting. So let's go to the main roles around. The main Toastmaster meeting roles are TMOD, GE, and Topics Master. What is their topics master should be done? They did a fantastic job. Only one thing he just missed today is only on repeating the topic. So what happened is it made the speakers repeat the topic. Otherwise, what he did today's job is a fantastic job. So TMOD, prepare it well, speak to your people. General evaluator, see what is happening in the meeting, give a report. Before that, speak to your evaluators and then people, and then your topics master. Come with the topic. He is well prepared. He did not come and ask, okay, let me scroll. Nothing happened. But there are a lot of innovative ways of getting onto topics that we will just start trying from next month onwards. Now, as of now, with this session, my time is done. And as per the agenda goes, I can continue with my evaluation, is what my agenda goes. I can just continue with my evaluation. Before that, is there any quick question I can take one or two? Yes.
So, first, regarding the table topic. During particular education sessions a couple of years back, one of senior Toastmasters suggested, like for Toastmaster, tabletop topic master. So instead of calling the person on stage and then giving him the topic, that is read the topic first and give a few seconds,
Right.
and then call the person. So
I-
which method is
I read it. See, this is to off the cuff speaking. Why are you late? See, for an example, you're married, or you're going home, your wife opens the door, it's the same person comes to you every time. Same person. Why are you late is the same person. That's a leave that person. Otherwise, is that the same person comes to you every time.
Yes, yes.
Mostly. Right. Maybe I'll just give an example. Your see, table topics is to make you speak off the cuff. There are multiple ways I tell so that let them prepare 30 seconds. Simpler way is to follow how contest is done. In a contest, we called given the topic only, easier way. Because there are, see, Toastmasters as an organization, it is not asking you to say there is no specific do's and don'ts. For an example, as a surgeon at I come here and say, okay, come on, I welcome you all. Let's not speak sex, religion, and politics. Toastmasters is not telling you no sex, religion, and politics. We say, okay, at Medley we all do formals. No, Toastmasters is not mentioning no, wear only formals. It's not that. We are trying to bring in a culture of bringing in formal. We are trying to bring in a culture of not discussing sex, religion, politics because there is very controversial topics and why kill the camaraderie. So there is no specific rules. But we can give either way as right. But you are giving a benefit of advantage to somebody to an off the cuff speaking.
But this
See,
methodology is
this is the best method because off the see something is suddenly thrown at your face for you to reply. Answer is this is a method, it's easier. Throw the word, this word is practiced. So there is no specific rule in the Toastmaster book. So what we can simply follow how Toastmasters are giving an instruction to the contest, we can simply follow that particular contest model. Right. Let me just go on to my report. I will first call the first evaluator, Toastmaster hiring to evaluate Pradeep's speech. Once this is done, I'll also tell you what a general evaluator role should be doing. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Kalyan, for the dedicational speech. I'm going to evaluate Toastmaster Pradeep Kumar's speech. Toastmaster Pradeep Kumar, you excelled at you gave a very clear speech and the topic created so much interest among the audience. So your topic on dynamic leadership and then choosing your own leadership style, you chose the perfect incident for you to connect to the topic and how you rose as a situational leader. So that is what the topic demands, that to understand your own leadership style and then what did you learn. So you made both the project objective and the speech objective of understanding your own leadership style and also what other people did during that critical moment. So other things that was good about your speech are the way that the entire story was narrated with the appropriate screenplay and dialogue, how you handled that critical moment. You brought in the business criticality at that point of time, and you narrated with a little bit of local variety, how you got the call and how the team members reacted to it. And you also said that how you motivated the other team members as well as to adopt a collaborative leadership style. So you did explore about all these things throughout your speech, which was good. So something what you could also work on is while concluding, you could have also brought in about your interactions with the top management. How did they give you advices during the critical moment and how you handled that? Because one part was you handling the team and how all of you rose as a situational leader. But you could also have incorporated what are the other pressures that you faced from among the other stakeholders, from your US counterpart. So little bit on that aspect also would have enriched your overall speech objective. And also you were quite comfortable in your stage, and also you can work a little bit on your eye contact as well, because throughout the way focusing on one side, you could also focus your eye contact on the other side of the audience, and you can also improve your gestures and your stage movement. Somewhere you got engrossed in your overall speech. Otherwise, the topic what you chose was very perfect to the project objective, and with these kind of improvements in your content enrichment can overall value add to your speech. Thank you.
Let me call Toastmaster Rohit to evaluate Toastmaster Venkatesan's speech.
Thank you, Jay. There's nothing like starting a session or a speech with a mild humor. This is what exactly the Toastmaster Venkatesan did. He started off with a mild humor, which also happened to be a trivia, asked us what he observed. He just put us off. He kept us thinking about whether it is table topic. By then one of our members said this table tennis as well. So, it started off with a mild humor. And I think he said the Toastmaster Venkatesan, he set the tone with a mild humor. So, going with the objectives of the speech, Toastmaster Venkatesan did touch upon all 5 aspects of the speech that is there in his objectives. That is the 5-step formula. That is a listen, pause, confirm, confidence, and eye contact. So, he did mention about listening during the course of his speech. He did mention about, quoted a few examples also which covered his listening skills, about the importance of pausing while speaking, and confirm with the other person that if whatever the person has conveyed to them, if they are clear with it, and confidence is confidence, and then eye contact. So the Toastmaster did cover on either side of the audience. So there's confident by delivering the speech, and also the eye contact. It did touch upon on either side of the audiences, so that he covered almost all the 5 steps within the objectives. And one thing I need to suggest that Toastmaster Venkatesan, he was handicapped without the visual aid, so that is fine. Even without the visual aid, he did a brilliant job in delivering his speech. So whatever that was, without the help of the PPT, he managed to convey the message to the audience. So I think he needs to be appreciated for that. So Toastmaster Venkatesan, you can re-deliver the same speech at a later date with the PPT on and with the audio visual on. So for now, I would say that only one aspect that he fell short was in making. He didn't have the PPT or PPT to handle, so there's enough space on the stage. We could have made use of this. That was the only thing I could draw upon and then convey to it. That was the only my shortfall which you can make use of it. Probably you might get restricted at a later date when you deliver the PPT, but at least today you could have made use of this. Otherwise, you were confident. It shows that you had methodically prepared for the speech, which you delivered without any hindrances, and you were confident it was fluent. So you touched upon almost all the aspects of delivery. So nothing much I could say apart from making use of this. To summarize, okay, you are effective in without the audio visual aid. You are effective in without the audio visual aid. It shows that you have been well prepared, and your vocal variety is that you are a seasoned speaker, so you know how to vary your speech. And then about the presentation, yes, you can make use of, you can re-deliver it next time and make your speech even more effective with the audio visual aid. That's all right. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Right. I think I need to check on a few things. What time has to be done? And Anish, you are making the voting links. Not a voting links. Chat. Okay. First of all, before that, I want to know whether both the evaluators qualified. Right. About the topics who are all qualified?
The topics, Rivina.
Now once again, when people are going to vote, when the timer is reading, I would request the respective qualified speakers to raise their hand because people will not know who you are. For them to vote, when the timer reads their name, the respective speaker can raise their hand so that people who vote, they know whom they are voting to. Right? Qualified speakers, okay, both the prepared speeches are qualified. Okay.
Prepared speech, Pradeep is
Today's prepared speech, Pradeep is qualified, so I'm going to vote for the best speaker. And then about topics, who are all qualified?
So topics, Rivina, just Prishti, Ranjit,
Okay.
Andini,
Okay.
Rohit, Gautam,
Okay. This is there, whatever that is the voting link, that's qualified. Right. For the members, right. Okay, about the evaluator, both the evaluators are qualified.
both evaluators.
So hold this link now, don't vote because there is going to be a single voting link, don't hold the link now. So as of now, we are doing good with the timing. So let me complete the timer report and then I'll again come back to my report and the report. Now, let's move on. I told you I have two teams with me. One is going to be a subjective team, another is going to be an objective team. The evaluators of the subjective team, they clearly say, hey look, this is, objective team, they saw the objective of the program, speeches, and then they gave, hey look, this is what you did, you can improve here, and this is what you are supposed to do. Whereas people who are objective as my timer, our counter and grammarian. Timer, can I have your report here? You can come on stage and then give me your timer's report. Postmaster, Ranjit with this timer's report.
Good evening again. So let me give the timer report. For the prepared speech, Toastmaster Pradeep, 6 minutes 15 seconds. Qualified. Toastmaster Venkatesh, you are almost close. 9 minutes 20 seconds. So, Pragya, you are like within 20 seconds, 20 minutes. For the table topics, Tarun, yes, Tarun, 30 seconds. Toastmaster Pravina, 1 minute 56 seconds. Just Lakshmi, 2 minutes 5 seconds. Toastmaster Ranjit, myself, 1 minute 32 seconds. Toastmaster Nandini, 1 minute 10 seconds. Toastmaster Rohit, 1 minute 10 seconds again. Toastmaster Gautam, exactly 1 minute. Toastmaster Harini, 2 minutes 1 second. And just Prashant, almost there, 55 seconds. And evaluation, Harini, 2 minutes 55 seconds. Rohit, 4 minutes 5 seconds. Thank you.
So which means timer Rohit is not qualified on forwarding. Three, what is okay, fair enough. Okay, check out, fine. If you are clear, I'm clear. Right. Now let me take the report from the counter, adding one particular thing along to the timer's report. I'll just add on to that when it comes to my report. The next report is from the counter, Toastmaster Nandini.
Hello, I am with my R contest report. Kalyan used R. Toastmaster Kalyan used R 2 plus times. Toastmaster Karan used R 3 plus times. Toastmaster Harini used R 3 plus times and so 2 times. Toastmaster Pradeep Kumar used so 3 plus times. Toastmaster Rohit used R 3 plus times. Toastmaster Venkatesan used like 1 time. And Toastmaster Nitin didn't use any filler words. And Toastmaster Ranjit not used any filler words. Thank you.
I'll just add one personal sad story about this counter. I've been a Toastmaster since 2011 and then I took a break for 4 years and then I came back in 2015. I have the qualifying criteria for a DTM. I have qualifying criteria for 2 DTMs. I have not filed my DTM yet. Reason being, I told myself 5 meetings continuously, I will speak without an R or any filler. If I speak only for 5 meetings continuously, I will find my DTM. I'm still struggling. So this is what the learning of an R counter is. Now let me take a report from the grammarian Anush.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I'll first report the good usage of sentences and words. A wonderful sentence I heard was, "Stories makes us fly." The sentence indicates that stories inspires us and involves in the character. When you read a comic book, it feels better than seeing the movie because it's your own imagination. Whereas if you see a movie, you only see what the director has filmed. So it's always better to hear stories or read stories. What an amazing sentence. And the other one is, I remember it vividly. When we use different synonyms, we will always elevate ourselves and improve the quality of our speech. And other things are grammatical errors. Today, there are very little grammatical errors, which are introduction of myself, which should be introduction of myself. Be patient should be patient. We should only use patience. We should only use patience when you're talking about staying calm. For example, you need patience to learn math. The final one is I win should be I won. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that comes to an end of my team's work, and I'm here as a general auditor with my report. What I'm going to do is I'm also going to add a little more. My report, I'm going to map it to the session which I took up. Right, what happens is, if you're all attentive, when I introduce my tag team, how I introduce my tag team and how I introduce my evaluators. Can anybody tell me the difference?
Objective and subject.
Okay, that is one. Then little more. Let me start. Let me just help you out of that. When I spoke about my tag team, I used the intro of what Rohit gave, the current gave. I told Ranjit this blah 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 blah. How did I call Harini and how did I call Rohit? I simply called Toastmasters. Harini, Toastmaster. An unprepared GE will look like that. See, why there should be a meeting team to make the meeting interesting. Assuming Karan came and then said, okay, today I'm a Toastmaster of the day, this has got 3 sessions, this session will have prepared speeches, okay, tomorrow speech Venkat. You're having a boring meeting, you will never renew next time at all. What makes the meeting interesting is to take a theme, bring everybody towards the theme, ask these 15 people or 18 people, hey look, what do you think about the theme? Then cheating, probably I never in my life I thought what is the fictional character I like. When he asked me, I said, okay, who I like? I said, okay, now I like to this stage I like cars and gadgets, so I like James Bond. Because I wanted to say Rani Comics, because I am very sure you would have known what is Rani Comics at all. There used to be a Tamil novel, in my days, as I told, that is when 70s, 78, 79, 80. Okay. So, I normally my joke is your parents are not got married at that particular time. That is how it is. So that's the thing. So idea is, the moment as a role player you connect to your team, you improve the role players, the meeting becomes much more interesting. So first of all, prepare for your role. Here today, if you just recall, go home, individual role players, you will definitely know how many of you prepared for your roles, how many of you did not prepare for your role. Why I specifically wanted to say how Harini and Rohit would have felt, I simply called Harini and then gave hands and then shook. Because I introduced Ranjit with an introduction. If I have told, okay, hey look, Harini, I know Harini, she lives in inside IIT and then she works for HR and talent hunting and then she has got 2 daughters. When I spoke to her about what is the theme, she said, Harini would have felt a little more connected to the club, connected to this meeting, and I simply called her. So an unprepared general evaluator, an unprepared role player will tell us, oh, you'll go flat. But you will not know you went flat. Others will not go flat. The person whom you called will definitely feel somewhere I did not felt good about today in this particular meeting. You know? That is how it will be. So prepare for your meeting roles. That is the first thing as a general level of the meeting started on time, and the Toastmaster of the day handled it on one scene. The general evaluator role, as I told, though I have an objective and a subjective team, as a general evaluator, I am here to call spade a spade. Because the whole idea of a general evaluator is what happens at the back end. The general evaluator gives, these are all my recommendations. The ExCom takes it on, and then the ExCom works for this for the next meeting, and then they come and implement to an extent of any trivial thing. For an example, two people are sitting here, and how many of us noticed this fan as a distraction in today's meeting? I personally felt fan as a distraction, especially when we have women wearing a salwar, and then what they will think. Are they going to concentrate on this particular speech or the. So this will be a predominant general evaluator report of today. Will be, hey look, let us switch on the AC 10 minutes before. Because this is definitely, when we saw the place itself, that's what we felt. See, I remember me, Thomas sir, Venkat sir, all of us, we hunted for the places. When we saw this place, we felt this is West, it's going to be super hot. But we can just maybe put those fans and not this, because people who are wearing a salwar or a thing, other thing will be a little more comfortable, because what they will think on the sense what it's going to be. See, the idea of Toastmasters is, the idea of many Toastmasters is to make the speaker comfortable on stage so that he or she can learn and go out and understand and implement. So, my only one particular recommendation for today's meeting will be, let's have a look on the fan. Otherwise, I'll run today's meeting. I really appreciate the Toastmaster of the day, amazing preparation. But initially, that level of time which you took is very long. So I remember work on that. There is a timing attached to every role. Our counter, our counter and the tag team players, they introduced very well and they did their job beautifully well. And though we went a little bit off on time, I really appreciate the role players how it happened, because by 3:5 we are 7-9 minutes late. Whereas when 3:43 we sort of brought the meeting on time. Otherwise we would have been having the meeting endlessly. So this is not the only thing. So otherwise, as a general evaluator, I will not say anything specific improvement on the meeting. The meeting went beautifully well. The time we sort of went off the track, and then we are back on track time today is my understanding. One particular recommendation to the ExCom and to the meeting team is, let's have a thing on the fan, which will just recommend it, so that next time we can handle this. My GE report is done. I have 1 more minute, so that I'll just quickly go back to my education session. Take any of these roles which you take will definitely work on this. Now let's quickly run the roles. Surgeon at arms comes here. The surgeon at arms, role of a surgeon at arms has to come, bring the meeting to order. The surgeon at arms will not come and say anything. For an example, the R counter today, don't get me wrong, I'm not correcting you or anything. As an R counter today, you will come and then say, hey look, I'm here as an R counter today. I'm here to make a note of R's, M's and other things, the word crutches which you use. At the end of the day, you will come and then say, when you become a TMOD, you have a team. Because what is happening, when you come there and then you just come and say, it's not against you. We do this, all of us do this actually. Because the moment you sit on stage, you want to say something. Maybe you would have prepared that particular flow. When you are specifically taken a role, speak only about that particular role. For an example, time and tide, right? What a grammarian introduction is very different today. Maybe you can just go see the meeting recording. Grammarian spoke specific to this particular role, whereas you spoke which is not specific to the role. You are going to give any trivia, let it be very small, linked to your role, not off the role. You see the recording, you will understand what went on, right? So that is also the role being done. Surgeon at arms will come here, mention the objective and subject, why, rules, do's and don'ts, bring the room to order, call the presiding officer. Presiding officer role you would have seen every time, meeting, opening the meeting and then closing and here. TMOD is nothing but your MC. Big functions you have seen the MC. General evaluator, as I mentioned, there is a watchdog and he is going to say, call a spade, what happened. Other roles, now you can relate what roles are, what is what. I'll tell you something. Any role, it will be timer role. I do not know how many of you tag. I don't want answers, I don't want raise of hands. tag players today, if you are playing the role of a first time or how many time I do not know. To me, till I got the hold of the club details, every time I spoke to my mentor about, hey look, I'm going to play a role of a tag account today. Is there anything I can do different? So that helps you. Mentor means that particular person is there in a club or in the fraternity or there in the system for a longer time. So how many of you spoke to your mentors even today when you take a role will definitely show in stage. I can simply say, okay, this particular person spoke to his mentor, this particular person did not speak to me. So that's how it is. Speak to your mentors, understand what is the role. I'll just handle. See, this is going to be like a round robin because it's not that usually the general level hands over to the TM only. The TM only gives it to the presiding officer. It's as I told, you guys are cursed today. Again, I'm going to come and you're going to see my face. Over to the Toastmaster.
Coming close to as I'm coming close to the end of our session today, but before that, I would like to vote for the best topic speaker, best evaluator, best tag role player, and best role player. So please go ahead and vote. I'll give you 1 minute. Candidates in your I think everyone is done. Right. So let me hand it back to Pastor Kalyan.
So we have 5 more minutes. Before the voting link comes, let me take the feedback from the guest. You said you are coming. I don't get your name. Sorry, Lakshmi. Okay. You want to tell us now? What is it? This is the second time you said you are coming to this meeting.
Yes.
What was your expectation before and what is the expectation now? Or what is the learning before and what is the learning now? Wherever you are comfortable. You can come here, you can come here. Right.
First of all, thank you for the opportunity. First time when I came here, it was completely new. Although I know about Toastmaster, but how the frame works, how the process works, blank I was. So I was observing like what is TT and what is speakers speaking about and what are the topics they are doing. And last week I could not attend. Again, this is the second week. One thing what I like is that the way the structure is formed and the way the people are planning and then coming here and presenting themselves. That is one good thing. This has given me a confidence that definitely I would be able to do much better in the coming days. Provided I should also be continually be part of this team is what I'm looking for. But all the way I feel that everything is going well and it is planned. But maybe I did not see much of the people. And the first time when I saw it was very the crowd was very less. So I thought maybe this particular team has got only limited people. But today I got to know that there are a lot of people who are part of it. Maybe when I meet the other people, I'll get to know a lot of things and I can improve myself. Thank you.
Explain here and add it to the guest what is happening. As I told, we belong to a district. Every year, the last week of May, district conference happens. In IIT Madras Research Park, there are 600 Toastmasters, in which from our club, 18 people are there. And then maybe what I can do is I can ask the Vice President membership to forward all the photos to flood it to you are there in the guest group, right? I'll just tell you what is happening. Then you will understand what is happening. And so that in what of time I'm not taking it, I'll ask the VPM to send all the messages which is happening in the group so that it will be easier for you to know what is happening in this district, why this thing happens. I would like to share whatever you feel that I have the results here. But when the results is ready, let me know. Results ready? Okay. You can come. Your name? Sandhya. Yes, sir.
I have been good evening everyone. I am Sandhya. I am working in real estate sector. I have been coming to Toastmaster for past 2 weeks, I did not have the courage to come and speak in front of everyone because I am still learning English. Many times I clearly know what I want to say in my mind, but when I start to speaking, words do not come easily. I feel shy, I feel nervous, and I start doubting myself. Sometimes I see people speaking fluent English, and I think, when will I speak like that? Will I ever reach that level? I wanted to share something about my background. I am from a small village. I studied in Tamil medium. I did not grow English, so at first I struggled with it. But now I am learning step by step. I have realized that if I stay silent, I will never improve. If I avoided fear, I will never grow. That's why I decided to stand in here today. Why I choose Toastmaster? I choose Toastmaster because I wanted a place where I could speak without fear and improving with confidence. Here I saw people encouraging each other and supporting each other. That gave me a confidence. Toastmaster is not only about speaking English, it is about building confidence, improving communication, and becoming a better version of ourselves. Not because my English is perfect, but because I want to improve, I want to learn step by step. In my real estate career, communication is everything. Every day I met new people, I handled the conversation, built trust, and I understood that communication is not only for my career, for my future growth and confident as a person. Today may be my first speech here. Yes, I may make mistake. My grammar may not be perfect. My speech may not be smooth.
Your grammar is perfect.
And I am happy that you are the first step here. Every fluent speaker was once a beginner. Thanks.
We all know that when you're school and all that, you are first class student, ஒண்ணுமே படிக்கல. That is similar to that category. Your exam time, the person will come and say, did you read anything? நான் ஒண்ணுமே படிக்கல. She belongs to that category. So don't appearance deceptive. Okay? On a serious note, Sandhya, welcome on board. This is a beautiful fraternity. See, I'll tell you my story. I studied in English medium. I studied everything, but again, touch me when I came to Medley, I can't hold a conversation. I'm kids speaking in English. But today, other than my top district, I've played all the roles in this district only because of this particular stage which I am standing today. I cannot know. My second or third speech, I'm going to bore you people with death because if I thought somebody can get inspired. In my third case, I think in my sixth speech, I was profusely sweating, and then my people sitting there thought I was 40 then. Okay, this is 13 years ago. They thought I had a heart attack. Seriously, that is all. That is all. But trust me, I have played all the roles. Even in district, I played all the roles. It started from here. But welcome on board. Moreover, we are not a grammar speaking school. You get to learn. Like one of time, I'm cutting it. Let's go with the lessons, please. We have 2 minutes, so that. Let's start with the best evaluators Toastmaster Harini. What do you do? I'm very new to the club. We have a ribbon or what? We have a certificate which comes. Okay, fine. We will correct it. So no problem. It's like on a lot of time we will just use your field. So that's okay. Don't put it in next week. We will use it later. See, normally earlier what we used to do, we used to have a sheet like this, and then we will give back. They will have it with the poster, so maybe we'll bring them. Hide this. They did not come in a Right, thank you. So this is how earlier we used to. This was looking very awkward. What we will do, we will give the award, and then we will get it back, and then we will use the same award. Then we brought the certificates. So the next tag role players, Timer Ranjit. No. the handshake. Maybe Asif will just try. So why this? I'm just telling you why I'm just bringing this. Best speaker, Toastmaster Pradeep. Right. The best role player has come to me, and but again, it's not because of out of generosity or anything. Trust me, Karan definitely deserves a big round of applause at the awards. I would personally say the best role player award goes to Karan. Seriously, I tell you what, okay, see what happens is these are all profits which we Medley connects. Yeah, thank you. See, these are all the profits which Medley connects when we go. People will get to know us. You'll be knowing today in the open WhatsApp group in our district, Medley has become the highest award collector. So that is how it is already. See, because when I was a president, that was when 2016. Something like this, I had one big bag of awards. That level of awards what every year we collect, and we need to change to something else. And we are done with time. We'll just have our questions everything later. The sound of this meeting, I'm very sorry. Okay. So table topics, Pravina. I'm very sorry for missing it. Please come. Okay. Everyone award big round of applause. So you gave certificates, you're giving an award, why not? I'm very sorry for that.
No problem, no problem.
Okay. The sound of this game, I adjourn meeting about 6. You can take a group photo.